Start sending your video from your streaming software to go live. I just did it. So what's the problem? Issues again. Okay. See, no, I'm going. So why didn't it change what I just did? It doesn't make any sense. Oh, this is intentional. 1 minute to let me go on live, and the next won't let me. The camera's on. Doesn't make any sense. What is it doing? Don't even trip. Don't even trip. Y'all told me to go access the camera. This camera cannot be accessed because it's being used by another application. When you mother pluckers told me to do it. That's crazy. What am I? Okay. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know. I've been stuck on this for a long freaking fragging time. Welcome to YouTube live control room. You'll need to copy your new stream key over to your third-party streaming software. After you finish your stream, you'll need to come back after I finish the stream. After I'm done, come back to the live control room to go live again. Learn more. Create a live stream with an encoder. There are 3 ways to stream on YouTube. Use a webcam. I got a webcam. Your mobile device or an encoder. Streaming software or hardware encoder. Using an encoder lets you share your screen or broadcast your game, use external audio and video software, manage an advanced production like multiple cameras and microphones. That's what I usually do before y'all change this stuff and made me have to do this once again. So I'm using the code. Now if I take the encoder out, then when I just use y'all's, then I can't manipulate my camera through y'all's, which doesn't make any sense. Installing in the code. Enable live streaming. Enabling a live stream for the first time may take up to 24 hours. Once enabled, your stream will go live instantly. How to enable live streaming? I've done that. Install an encoder. An encoder converts your content into a digital format to stream on YouTube. Some encoders are software applications on your computers, while others are standalone hardware. Here's a list of YouTube verified encoders. None of these products are made by YouTube. Make sure to evaluate the products and decide which option makes the most sense for you and your business. YouTube verified encoders. Verification prerequisites. The following criteria must be met for a device or application to pass certification. Correct AIP use. Uses the YouTube V3 live streaming API to automate the use of YouTube Live platform on behalf of the user. Create, translate, destroys broadcast objects via the sends appropriate report and solutions. So 1 minute I can use it, and the next I can't. I have to resolve this. This is crazy. I don't. Just oh God, Jesus Lord. Go here. Lose 20, pick up 1. Okay. Says I'm live. That's great. This is so great. And monetization off. They keep turning my monetization off. I have it on. They turn it off. This is insane. This is insane. This is insane. Over and over again. This is freaking insane. Okay. I'm gonna just do this. It's the only option I have. Okay, that's the playback. If anybody on here, this is crazy. Okay, what happened? Now I stopped. Enough is fucking enough. Okay. Welcome to Can Angels Fly Tarot and More. My name is Nancy. Tonight I'm here to consult the tarot cards to see what they say should be our concerns, where we should keep our eyes open. Now, or whatever. I'm frustrated, y'all, if you hear. So in this during this tarot reading, all I'm going to do is consult the cards again, and it's not for any particular zodiac sign. When I'm reading the cards, if the card suggests that I am supposed to focus on a particular zodiac sign, then I will, and I'll refine the message for that particular zodiac sign. I am so irritated. How many minutes? I only, okay. 10 minutes. I'm going to chill. 10 minutes fussing trying to get this thing to work. They keep changing stuff. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. After all this time, it's been a long time that I've been trying to figure out how to use their new, maybe, I can't say it's not, the software that I'm using is not appropriate for this platform. I can't say that because I'm on now. I just don't have my like administrative page. And then I can't go live directly. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm not even gonna, next time I'm not even gonna open up, but it made me open it up last time. Open up what? What's the thing? Split X. It made me open it up. It said open up your third party streaming software and start sending it. Right? I don't even know. Open up the third party streaming software and it's not connecting. I mean, this has been months. It's almost been at least a year. It's probably been at least a year I can't get this thing to work. And it worked when it want to work. So now I'm cussing and fussing. You know, that's what I do, y'all. This shit is fucking annoying. I know that goddamn much. Excuse my language. That's not appropriate for children. That shit get on my nerves. Anywho. Alright. The first card that fell out is the Death card. Let's see if you can see it. That's another thing I've noticed, that the cards are not coming through. I'm just holding and waiting for the time delay to catch up. The Death card in reverse. So the Death card in reverse suggests that at this point in time, it's the onset of the winter months. Not quite yet. A season of death. It's the period. I ain't gonna jump the gun. I started getting a message a few days ago that had me turn and begin to contemplate on the period, or like the winter season, or fall through the winter season, in which this death occurs. The death, of the summer, the long death of long days. See, I didn't even finish my ponderance on the subject matter, but it just had to do again with the fall season coming in, and it's the death of like the long days and of life, like flowers and different things like that, plant life, and when I was pondering this thought that came to me, it was just showing me, animals going in hibernate, such as bears and different things like that. And so immediately when I see this Death card has fallen out, but in reverse, it suggests on the threshold of this time period that came to my mind. Is that what the message is going to be about? I don't know. But that's immediately where my mind went. And I think that this Death card may have dropped out because I didn't even finish pondering the message when I was getting it the other day. And the way my life usually works, things don't leave me alone. They come right back around. So I'm assuming that it will go into that. But it may not. It may not. So what is it spooling for now? What the heck is going on here? I'm just gonna sit here and just look. I ain't gonna stop tripping. On the threshold of a period in which there is a necessary change. It says high CP usage detected. You may experience performance issues. High PC usage. That keeps coming up for me. What is high PCU usage? I'm Googling the issue that I am dealing with, and it continues to be a problem. All of the programs running on your computer share PCU, or processing time and memory. If the PC usage is around 100%, this means that your computer is trying to do more work than it has the capacity for. This is usually okay, but it means that programs may slow down a little bit. So what do I have? All I have running right now is the internet and this Split X. So reading the article, y'all. I'm about to read the tarot cards. The first card is the Death card in reverse. It says, is it normal for my computer to be using this much CPU or memory? I'm on help period GNOME.org. Let's see. Just going to read a little bit, then I'll come back to the tarot cards. All of the programs running on your computer share the CPU, process time, and memory. If you run many programs at once, or if some programs are doing a lot of work, a higher percentage of both of these things will be used. If the CPU usage is around 100%, this means that your computer is trying to do more work than it has the capacity for. So I'm going to push that. Right now I can't see anything on my screen because I want to see what's running. I want to know what's running. And so I'm looking to see what's running. If the processor is running at 100% for a long time, what's running at 100%? Let's see. There's a lot of background applications, I guess, running. What's running? Okay, it says I got my camera running. I got Google Chrome running. And now the task manager, because I just opened it in Split X. Split X has 14 applications running underneath it, I guess. You know, do anybody understand technology? I don't. Let's see. High, very high. It's Split X. I'm getting, okay, it's Split X that's running very high. So I'm going to get rid of Split X because it's running very high. I don't want to. Can I click on it and see what's running on Split X while I'm running Split X? It just say it's 14 different applications running. Okay, very high again. Okay. I'm done with it. It's the Split X. Split X has been carrying me for a while. Very appreciative of it. Let me be creative and do my broadcasting, but I'll find something else. And I'm going to let this go right here. Okay. This is the Death card in reverse. This is the first card to this just general tarot update for September 20. It's for all zodiac signs. Right now I'm just looking for whatever message the cards have to offer. If at any time the card suggests I'm supposed to focus on a particular zodiac sign, I will do that, and I will note that at that time. The next card is the Star card, and the Star card represents a person's, individual's achievements, and how a person may want to further their achievements. Many times it's necessary to join forces with others, like large social networks, like joining political parties, or joining a religious institution, or I don't know, joining a big travel club, a book club, some type of group or organization, in order to be able to have access to other people that bring that will offer a person again the network opportunities. Hi Yanni, how are you? Hey, it's retrograde mood swings. Look at the little I got. I'm so frustrated. I am so tired, Yanni, and I'm tired of fussing. I don't know. I'm gonna come back to the tarot reading, y'all. Anybody that follow me know I got these Aquarius rants and these mood swings. So right now that's what I'm about to do, because I like to cuss and fuss and vent. But I'm like really tired of the hurdles I'm dealing with when it comes to technology. Y'all have to hear me say I'm not the crispiest cookie in the jar, but I ain't the crumbled up one. So I don't understand how sometimes I can be so skillful and so masterful in relationship to anything, including technology, and then all of a sudden I can't perform any acts. That doesn't make any sense. It's like, and that's what is leading me to feel like I'm not comprehending my lack of success or successful execution of whatever I'm partaking in. Right now I'm talking about technology. It doesn't make sense. And so I know for a while I kept getting this warning sign on the side that says that I had high CPU issues, and so I would have some type of glitches or something in my live. So I just googled to see what even a CPU is, because I don't know all the details, and it's the software, the third-party software that I'm using, and I don't understand why it's an issue, because the software is what has been carrying me. The software that I'm using, which is Split X, has been carrying me, and I've loved it and I've enjoyed it, and they've allowed me to use it for free. You know what I'm saying? I've even sampled some of their other applications, and it's been really good. So what is happening now that is not working? And then the next thing is YouTube itself has changed its way to go live. And I'm wondering, why can't I just go live straight off of YouTube? I don't know. I'm going to get rid of a Split X, because it's causing this CPU issues or whatever it is pulling too much now. So I don't know. And I went through my computer and erased everything. I don't want to just totally reset the computer to its when you first get it. I don't want to reset it, because I have all kind of stuff in this computer. So I'm just cussing and fussing. And then on top, and then the next thing that bothers me, that's getting me frustrated, where I can't think, feel like I can't comprehend, irritated with the mood swings, is that whenever I go live, my viewership is not growing. That is really, really annoying me. So I find myself over the last year, or maybe going on 2 years, cussing and fussing. So now I'm confronted with saying, hey, do you continue to be on YouTube? Because Nancy, you don't have to be on YouTube. Nobody asked you to be on YouTube. This is something you enjoy. Do you continue, Nancy, to do what you're doing with minimal growth, just because you like it? Or should you back up and just leave it alone? Again, nobody asked me to do it. You know what I'm saying? I have minimal, support, viewership, etc., etc. I'm sorry, I was hearing something out the window. I didn't know if it was fireworks or shooting, so I had to listen. So I'm just trying to figure out, what do I do? And I feel like I'm at a dilemma, because I told y'all for years, I've talked to myself my whole life. I had no one else to talk to about these It's about spirituality, metaphysics. Either people were around me that were very worldly, or there were people that were very religious. And I was going and having all kind of unusual or supernatural kind of experiences. And so when I did get on YouTube and I found I was comfortable here, after doing the terrorists, I say I'm comfortable here, I can share, because I'm noticing that the people that I am encountering have had similar, experiences as myself. So, it's been beneficial. But at times I start feeling like I'm talking to myself once again. Just talking to myself once again. And that's crazy. I guess that I had more aspirations for YouTube than just paying my cable bill. It was the way to build up they call it a soul group, of people, we say of like minds, but in this case of like souls that, have again had some of the similar life experiences as I had, because it's something else to go through life and be able to see spirits, commune with spirits and different things like that. It's something different to reveal the true intricate details of our world, our reality, the powers that have been and are, and to walk through life by yourself alone. That's to say, like an example, if something were to happen in my life and I made a statement to the worldly person or the religious person and say, hey, this part of the construct did this, it's always an excuse to folks like that, like the physical, worldly person, and then the religious person. It's just an excuse from my perspective, when the reality is there is some real live foundation to what I be sharing and have shared in the course of my life to what is taking place. Like, I'm gonna give y'all an example of what I mean, and I'm gonna finish reading the tarot cards. Retrograde and narcissist like complications, love complications, and I'm just tired of it. I'm okay, almost finished work. Oh, that's a good thing. Ride the mood wave, and I be trying. I just don't understand why things can't be lovely most of the time. Usually it's raggedy most of the time. Why can't it be lovely most of the time? It doesn't make any sense. So before I read the tarot cards, I just want to give you an example of what I mean about having like experiences, and this is going to be very a mundane example where I may share it with a more worldly person as well as a religious person, and it's an excuse. How do I do it? I shared this story before. One tax season, I went to do my taxes, and so I was applying for a home heating credit. That's a credit that is you're given to put toward your utilities, and or you get the cash back if you don't own a balance on your utilities. And this might be a little lame, but this is an example of how it depends on your mind frame, how you receive, how you go through an experience and receive a reality. I don't know how to say it. So I'm sitting down, I'm doing all my taxes. I start with the easier ones because that's an easy one. So I like look on my go online. This was years ago too. This had to be in like 2002 or 3. So I go online and I go to the utility company to see how much my bill was for that previous year, and it says something like $1,500 or $2,000 or something dollars. I'm like, what? I was like, now. So I called the utility company And, so I'm explaining to them that, I'm sitting up trying to do my home heating credit. And you know what they said to me, or they quoted to me? That they didn't quote the exact same amount I saw online. It was a little bit more. But it didn't, I don't even think it exceeded $2,000. I was like, what? And so I told the representative, I said, hey, that's incorrect. They wanted to argue me down. Then I said, hey, let me speak to a supervisor. Talk to the supervisor. They want to argue me down. I asked for an investigation. They come back and say that's all I paid. They want to argue me down. I'm like, okay. At the time, I'm keeping my cool because what? I tell you, over my life, I have had so many crazy experiences, both in the physical and spiritual. I have to keep excellent records. So this is a period in which I'm already aware of that. So I let all of them say what they had to say and tell me I was wrong. As a consumer, I was wrong. And that was all I had paid, and all. That utility company and their representatives were about that company. They were about that company. So anywho, I let them say what they had to say. They don't know that I keep immaculate records, at least at that time. I try. That's a whole other thing. So I let them say what they gotta say. I said, okay, well, you didn't say what you gotta say. Now I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Give me your fax information. So I had every single bill. I had every single receipt for everything I paid. And my utility bill was like almost 3 times what they had said over the year. I live in Michigan, so the winter months are really, really hard. So we're going to say the bill was like $3,500 in a year. So I sent them faxes of every single bill with the amount I was charged highlighted and the amount I paid, which I didn't owe anything. So I sent them that. Send them that. That was the only thing that shut them up and made them correct the amount that I owed them. Now, mind you, that at that period, how things work, I'm going to do the tarot reading, y'all. But how things work is that we don't know what's going on in each other's life. That is to say, your neighbor's life. I heard so many people complaining about that same hurdle. And so I think I was at the FCC or the Better. I contacted Better Business Bureau, but I contacted like the FCC or something. I can't remember what is related to the utility company. But I told them, I said, hey, they are reporting that this was a broad issue, that I only paid X, Y, and Z over the whole year. That's what they reporting to the IRS. You know what I'm saying? So that means they were stealing money from the people. You get what I'm saying? Because they were reporting again like 4 times, almost 3.5 times less than I actually spent. You know what I'm saying? To the IRS, which means I can't get the appropriate refund for me. Anywho, all of the employees were about that corporation. Nobody wanted to hear nothing. The only thing that made them stop and pay attention is because I had immaculate records, and I told and showed them. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, I reached out to the powers that be over that particular department. Anybody in the world that I spoke to, whether they were worldly or religious, it was either an excuse. When I say more worldly, usually a person that either they don't have, either way, people didn't have relative to that, even a concern that they were being cheated, and that was a period and a point to get a hold on these utility companies. Or, it was just crazy. I I don't even know what I was fussing about. I'm just cussing and fussing. That's my Aquarius. I'm Aquarius rant. Doing a supposed to be a tarot day. I forgot, y'all. Anyway, I'm gonna let it go. You know what groups are uniting on YouTube is the empath against the narcissist crowd. Empaths uniting. Empaths uniting. That whole narcissistic stuff is insane, but again, people being cultivated to be narcissists and really think highly of themselves. Highly of themselves. And people, I remember just the other day, Yanni, I thought about a video. I don't even remember exactly what video I saw, but this was some years ago. But it was saying that people really can't be nice or really, really, really nice people. They always have an ulterior motive to why they're nice. That's to say then people can't be righteous just for righteousness sake, right? And I bring it up because, like you said, is the empath against the narcissist. When I first was introduced to the term narcissist, it was from here on YouTube, and it was suggesting the same thing, that they're codependent, that the narcissist picks up on a person that's nice. What's the word? Oh God, it's like the empath allows or upholds the narcissist's behavior. The narcissists that I know, I guess I would be the empath. The narcissists I know are really manipulative, and so if you're a nice person or a righteous person, I don't believe for once, I guess I can say I agree that everybody has an ulterior motive to why they behave the way they behave, even nice people. So I don't doubt that. Why am I nice? Because I want to live in a better world. So there is a motive to it. Why am I nice? Because like the Bible says, treat others as you like to be treated. So yes, there's a motive to why I'm nice. If I be a bitch, if I meet everything with aggression and violence, it's gonna beget more aggression and violence. I don't want to live in a world like that. I don't want my kids to live in a world like that, and I don't want my grandkids to live in a world like that. So yes, there's a motive to it. But it's like saying that, I'm gonna say, still talking about empaths and narcissists, is that empath gets caught up in the web of the narcissist because they want to be there, because they weak, because they like trying to change them. But I never hear from the opposite polarity, is that the narcissists, again, they lay webs, which are lies, very clever and manipulative, because this is psychological and stuff. So it's real innate, it's real smooth, it's innate abilities, or very ingrained deep abilities, where they're very cunning and clever and covert. So not all the time do you falling in with a narcissist. And then you get in there and you're a very sensitive person, caring about, having a better world. And like with a narcissist, you can't turn your head. You can't turn your head. And so a narcissist has the potential, from my perspective, to inflict a lot of wounds, especially psychological wounds, upon a person, namely an empath. Because an empath trying to go about, making it a better world, whatever, any way they can. And see, that's why I got in my immediate environment, I'm labeled as crazy, because yes, I'm sweet as honey, and I heard people talk about this too, even in astrology. I'm sweet as honey, and I'm maybe the empath. But if I meet with a narcissist, you step on my toes, then it's these lions over here on the side of me. I got that too. I'm not gonna play with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna play with you. I will sit you down, and narcissists will try to destroy you if they can, or get people against you to destroy you. And so it's a let's say it's a preconceived notion that an empath is weak and vulnerable and non-violent. Not the case. As far as I'm concerned, empaths, most of them, at least the ones that I have met in my life, choose to be that way. I ain't met a lot of cowards by nature. I ain't met a lot of them, but it's by choice. By choice. Bravo on records. That's order and discipline. Oh, I try. I try. I try. And I just mentioned it in I think the last live stream that it used to be a common rule to save your records for 3 years. Not too long ago, I heard 5 and even 7 years. Do you know how much paperwork a person will have in 5 to 7 years associated with every construct they involved with in this world? Oh man. These papers. And then whenever I have to go back through the files, it's the dust and the dirt that come up. It's like crazy. I was like, oh. And then I'm telling you how good it really get, how these corporations and businesses are. They tell you to keep your records. I don't know if y'all know about this or experienced it. They tell you to keep your records 3 years. It used to be 3 years. And then they come back on you in the 3rd year or right before it go out. And you be like, oh, no problem. No, how you pop it up after all this time? You go to your records and pull it out and the ink then disappeared. You ain't got no evidence to support what you claim. Your defense. You know what I'm saying? Or your receipt. Come on now. So I also, you know, these computers ain't right. I also I think I might like the cloud, even though it give all of the powers that be access to your stuff. But at least at this point in time, I can scan everything that comes through that I got to do. Scan it. I email it to myself. I send it to the cloud. Because I told y'all what happened to me in college with that big paper. I said 25 pages. It was 15 pages. It wasn't that big. Yes, ma'am.
Nothing.
I'm in here cussing and fussing.
Yeah, I see.
What Tinker do?
Watching his daddy play the game while I'm about to go cook.
Okay, because I'm hungry. I'm upset.
My hair dry.
Okay, get up.
So get you in your little life people.
And so the cloud I really like, but then there's also, I mean, we living in the same world. Now this is what I'm about to say is what I was just talking about, where it's the worldly folks and the religious folks and whoever. And oh, she let a fly in here. Who just came through the door and bought a fly in the middle of the night? See how the devil love to mess with me. Oh God, help me, Lord have mercy. It made me forget what I was gonna say. The cloud. That even though the cloud, and my cloud is filled up. My portion of the cloud, wherever the cloud is, the mainframe, is filled up. How you fill up a cloud? But that cloud has all my stuff backed up. Performance issues. Has it all backed up. It's filled up to the brim. I can't save nothing else. But that cloud is accessible by anybody that, you know, is a master in technology. They can access all my personal stuff, you know. And once you get somebody's personal stuff, a hacker or something, you can be them. You can live their life. You can destroy them. You can build them up. Whoever hacked me, please build me up. You know. And another thing is I experienced is that when technology came into being, there are certain things that were happening. Again, people don't know what's going on in the next person's life. And if they say a person says something about their experiences, others can't relate to it because it's not happening to them. I have had files and paperwork that I uploaded to the, you know, different, I don't know technology, but like emails and different things that have been manipulated and changed. Well, I still got the hard copy here before me. You know what I'm saying? People don't get it. So if I say, hey, I'm dealing in my life with some type of complication, somebody coming against me to destroy this one little cell in this world, then another person that came, they say, well, you didn't do something right, or this happened. It's always the person's fault. But they not looking at how the advanced technology is, that these people can manipulate, you know, your reality in their favor. This is what we're dealing with. And so it just irritates me. I be on here cussing and fussing and try to stay calm, but I didn't see and experience too much. And I also often wondered, I tell y'all about going through periods of sadness and depression and being frustrated, because who the hell am I, me, that the powers that be, from any, powers that be, plus whatever social constructs may be at me at any given time, why are they at me? What's so important about me? What is it? I ain't got that power. I don't have no power. I don't have no social pool. What the fudge is it? Will it stop? Why won't it stop? And I know this probably what I'm talking about sounds weird to people, but and yes, this is going to be a tarot reading, y'all. I'm just venting a crazy rant. This computer and everything else frustrated me. But I'm like, I was gonna say, on YouTube, another topic that people cover, and even a whole channel is about gang stalking. That is an advanced form of gang stalking. I tell you, I know about it. I know about up close and personal, intimate, in your space gang stalking, and I also know about the various social constructs that do stalk people's life. Like I was saying yesterday in the live stream, people that work in the different fields, everything from attorneys to doctors to that support the various constructs that create our world, they know the power of these major institutions and corporations. They know that the various institutions and organizations and stuff and corporations have destroyed people's life, the common Jane and Joe's life, but they won't say it because they don't want to lose again. They source of sustaining their life. They ain't gonna say that, and neither do people believe that common people are being destroyed one at a time like little bugs. Just squish them out, squish them out, squish them out, squish them out. People don't believe that, and that's highly frustrating to live in a world like this. Well, when I got here on YouTube, I thought I could build a group of people that truly could see and understand. I'm not sure of that now. I ain't sure. Anywho, okay, I'm gonna go back to the tarot reading after I read the chat. What time is it? It's 47 minutes and 50. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut this off, 50 minutes of it off, if I can. Oh man, okay. It's okay. And the cheating, wild, or rigid, right? Ragged, yeah. That's crazy. It's demonic, not just thinking highly of self. They have something in them that wants to destroy us. Right, they intentionally want to destroy others. They do, and they do everything in their power. I'm talking about a narcissist, anybody that's watching or watching later, in their power to destroy you. And most of it is very covert. It's real sneaky. A lot of the narcissists that I met are not just blunt. They not blunt. Like me, I'm real quiet. But when the lions y'all see in this image, this is my totem pole image. Because I video the other day, I said I can't be using all these images on Google now until I can kind of figure out something. Excuse me. But yeah, they are terrible, and want to try to destroy you by any means. Again, it's very covert, and it's low, and then to get people on board to try to destroy you. I mean, this is crazy, and people act like they can't see it. It's always something wrong with the person that's saying, hey, this person is narcissistic, they're dangerous, they are backstabbers, they are manipulators. It's not the narcissist that people should keep their eye on. They end up keeping an eye on a person like myself. Because I would be, they call it, again, upholding the narcissist. It's like an awake empath is their greatest fear. Oh my God. You talking about provoking violence out of a narcissist? If you an awakened empath, oh my God, you're gonna catch it. And that's when they get people on board to try to destroy you. I've been there, done that. Try to get people on board to destroy you, lie on you, do all kind of stuff. And I'm telling you, narcissists that have been around me, unfortunately, I am to the point where I have to force myself to let my guard down, because I have dealt with some heck of a spirits in my life. And so, like, when a narcissist can't take you down themselves, then again, they recruit people to help try to destroy you. And then if those people, a larger group of people, cannot destroy you, everybody will move away from you. And that's where I am. They will move away from you. And they will be around and about and be afraid to approach you. Afraid to approach you. And if you do run into them throughout your life, they got a whole lot of respect. They ain't going to say much of nothing. They ain't going to step very close. Because it's like all the games. It's like, what's an example of somebody like Bruce Lee? I can block this, block that. No, like the Matrix. Block this, block this, block this, block this. But who want to spend their life blocking, assaults and threats? That's too much. You should check out YouTube, Permission to Exist. Permission to exist. You need permission to exist. Just learned the government doesn't even save our voting records. Dr. Shiva, computer genius friend exposing. Really? LOL, please build me up. Please build me up. Hello, Bethany. How are you? Welcome here to Can Angels Fly Tarot and More. My name is Nancy, and I am here to read the tarot cards. But first, I had to perform an Aquarius rant and vent. So right now, I'm going to return to the tarot reading. This general tarot reading that is for all zodiac signs began with the Death card in reverse and was followed by the Star card. For this tarot reading, as mentioned, it is general, therefore it's for all zodiac signs. When and if the cards lead me to focus on a particular zodiac sign, I will do that. The Death card suggests that we are on the precipice of an end. It's not quite here. It's not quite apparent. It's not quite realized. And what might we be on the precipice of ending? Doing it ourselves. And why do I say that? It's because it's the Death card in reverse is followed by the Star card. Remember, the Star card really represents humanity overall. It represents each individual, like me and you, each of us, and how we go out into the world, we achieve what we achieve. It's about what we can bring to the table to better the world. On a grander scale of things, that's what it's about. And in order to better the world, most times we have to collaborate or network with others. I bring my expertise to the table, and you bring your expertise to the table. So the first two cards are suggesting okay, you're on the brink of the time period in which you were doing everything yourself for yourself. It's almost over. It's almost done. In order for you, people that create humanity at this time, to further advance yourself, to live your best lives, to truly gain enlightenment, it's going to require for you to work together. In our more intimate lives, this may look like where we start interacting with our, maybe families will start healing one way or another, however it has to happen. I'm going to give you an example before I go any further. There are people that we live in a time where we have become so divided, and it happened because we became very what we say self-sufficient. We start making money, so we branched off and bought our own homes and cars. We no longer live together as a family like people did back in the early 1900s, needing everybody to little prairie it, everybody do their part, and so we got very individualistic, and people were falling out, family members not talking, those kind of things. That's where we have been most recently, and so the death card is saying it's the end of that you were living so fabulous, you were so self-sufficient that you didn't even have to talk to your family or your neighbors, etc., etc. So the star card says, in order to be able to advance yourself back into your best life or your best experience, you're going to have to start working together and networking. Starting from that foundation of families not talking. It's just then we're on the brink of having to, being forced to be back in the homes with our extended family. So you're going to have to, you can get in the house with a person, with your family. How to say, like, example, keeping in mind everything that we actually have going on, like the pandemic and unemployment. So now you got to move back in with your family. Y'all wasn't talking a week ago, but you to the point where you're homeless or about to be homeless, or you don't have no food, or you can't pay your utility bills, and the other family member ain't doing much better, but they may own a home or something. They got one up on you. So now you got to go move over there. They need you and you need them. That's what it's saying we're on the break of. That's an example. To help you live. Y'all, not you, but y'all, live your best life. And then it goes from the family to even the neighbors. Because many people don't even talk and commune with their neighbors. Said, okay, y'all wasn't even neighbors. Y'all didn't talk. Y'all didn't break bread. Y'all didn't do block club parties. Okay, y'all didn't love each other. So we are on the precipice of moving into a time period where you're going to have to interact with your neighbor. What might you have to interact with your neighbor to do? Possibly, I don't know, just, creating scenarios. You may have to make a community garden and make sure that everybody in your area is eating. And the reason why you're going to do it, because you might notice that the local, I'm in that mood, crackhead is breaking in everybody's house because they hungry. It ain't got to be that. Or the kids on the block ain't got what they need. So if you want to keep a certain quality of life in your environment, guess what? Y'all gonna work together to make sure you can sustain a particular quality of life or build up upon it. You will be networking. Again, you're on the precipice of it. And we're gonna keep growing. It goes from bringing the family back together, healing it, bringing the community back together, healing it, then bringing back the state. Okay, this is the state. Keeping in mind everything that we have going on, what does each state need to help its residents survive and to strive? What do you need? Well, the state better get together and say what they need, because we might have to go to the federal government or something and make some requests. This is what the cards are suggesting we're on a precipice of, a time period we're on a precipice of going into. And then it goes from the state to the nation in relationship to global affairs. It doesn't stop there. Once we get to the global affairs, now we're starting to talk about galactic issues. It's the whole gamut of our existence and how we socialize, even on the soul level. Anywho, I'm going on and on and on. The next card is the Ace of Swords in reverse. What does the Ace of Swords in reverse suggest? The Ace of Swords in reverse suggests there's a blockage, or there's a delay, or there's an inability to move forward and to do what? Socialize, or to have the life experiences that you need in order to gain clarity or awareness. That makes sense. This Ace of Swords makes sense in reverse. Because this reading started with the Death card in reverse and says you're not there yet. You're on the precipice of. Therefore, you don't have the understanding about what it's going to really take for you to what? Get to your experiencing your best life. You know, and again, this is not just for, it's not for the individual person alone. It is for the collective. The next card is the Tower card. So the Tower card suggests that there is going to be a sudden event that occurs, and this event must occur, and you gonna cause it. I'm gonna cause it. We gonna cause it. When I say we, I'm talking about the people that create humanity at this time. We gonna cause it. And we cause it. And how do we cause it? How do we cause it? The Tower moment. I'm thinking that this Tower moment has already happened. I think this Tower moment is talking about the past. Everything that has transpired historically for humans, and including, not limited to, but including where I'm saying we allow ourselves to become so socially distant from each other, so emotionally desensitized to each other and to each other's needs, whether it's material or financial or emotional. Most of us don't care about the next person, and or we may have been the narcissist or the antagonist or the I was going to talk about the haters, the gang stalkers. Where my notes was over there. You know, they always on the other side of the room. So we played these different roles. All of us had played some destructive role in the breakdown of the health of humanity. We all play some type of role. And so this Tower, that's what the Tower represents here. How we collectively have predetermined our current unfolding as well as future events. Enlightenment is the goal for every individual that creates humanity. The Tower card also is connected. The Tower card is also connected to the Uranian energy. Uranian? I might hope I'm saying it right. And the Uranian energy has a connection to the future. So the Tower card suggests that this predetermined Tower moment is necessary to offer us, the people that create humanity, the opportunity to refine the state of our future, and not only our future, but those that will incarnate into this realm in the near and distant future. I chuckled just a moment ago because I looked at the star card, which the star card suggests to me or points to the 11th house. The 11th house is occupied by Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus. The Tower card also is connected to the 11th house of Aquarius, and the Tower card focuses on the Uranian energy that governs Aquarius. That's to say that, number one, Aquarius, remember Aquarius, that Aquarius represents each individual, you and me, or you and I, and every individual that creates humanity at any given time. Right now, we talking about right now, all the people that create humanity right now, and how failures, Uranus. Our life challenges, like the pandemic, dealing with a pandemic, like dealing with poverty, like dealing with illness, all these, challenges that we have. Many of them are self-imposed. Again, is what has triggered the tower moment. The period where you can't deny that something ain't right. And that moment comes to give us a chance to make the adjustments that we need. That's what the Tower card is, the Uranian energy. It's that moment that offers you the opportunity for enlightenment. Because remember, the Ace of Swords came in reverse and said, hey, you ain't enlightened. You ain't got clarity on the subject matter of what? Your existence, of reality, of humanity, and of your involvement in this reality. So, and the other, remember I was saying Aquarius has another ruler, and the ruler is Saturn. Saturn says to us, it says, hey, each of you that creates humanity at any given time, with a primary focus on now, it says there are rules to this game, there are regulations to this game, etc., etc. And you need to learn what they are, and you need to apply them. You need to live by them. If you don't live by these rules, policies, regulations, boundaries, limitations, restrictions that the Creator has set up, then you're going to meet with destruction. Period. And you don't know that. Remember, the Ace of Swords is in reverse, and you don't know that. You don't know that. And I talked about it a little bit. Why don't we know about it? Is required for the people that create humanity at any given time to obey, learn and obey the laws that the Creator has set up. Why don't we know it? Is it possible that we were socially engineered not to be aware? Is it possible that we were socially engineered to forget? That we are required, just because we incarnated into this physical world, we were born here and took on a physical body, we are required to obey the laws and rules of this realm. What are the laws and rules of this realm? Do we know them? The Ace of Swords in reverse suggests that most of us don't know that there are any rules and regulations or boundaries that we have to stay in order to stay in good standing and in good health and everything, good communion in this realm. We don't know it. Again, why? We've been socially engineered to not know and not obey. Why? So we can be self-destructive. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. I'm going somewhere. Next card is the Hierophant. The Hierophant. And the Hierophant is falling up underneath the Death card, which said just not yet. Immediately when I saw the Hierophant and I went to lay it on the Death card, I saw the Vatican. I saw the Catholic Church. I don't know why. The Hierophant represents major influential institutions such as the Catholic Church. That's just one example. It represents the powers that are established in this world for the masses to learn from and to follow. These major influential institutions such as, yes,
You told me you got sugar.
I did.
Where is it?
It's in the big tall cabinet, and I put it in that old in the blue coffee bin. And then there's a little sugar in the bag rolled up on.
Kool-Aid, that ain't enough.
I mean, it's a whole thing. What's a whole bag in that thing?
I only seen the one on the counter. I thought.
Can I have some more coffee? I don't know if I should drink no more coffee.
Yeah, you should.
Okay.
Boy, don't run up on me.
Nah, I was almost on the wave, and then you come messing with me. So, sorry. Major influential institutions such as the Catholic Church, because it has influence over what? Catholics, whoever Catholic may be, and they promote what? The doctrine of Christianity, whatever that consists of. You know, it has taught the people, its followers, a particular doctrine. That particular doctrine forms how those followers think, and therefore how they behave. When I say behave, what I mean, how they interact with the rest of the world. It's about what they will do in this world and what they won't do. It's what they if they'll be passive or not. That's what that particular doctrine promotes. And that's just one example. It's not just religion, it's different major influential institutions. I don't know. We have to think of some institutions. I don't know what has outside of yourself, what has stimulated you to think a certain way and therefore behave a certain way. That's a major influential institution. Anywho, the death card is above it, and remember the death card is in reverse, and it says you're on the cusp or the precipice of the end of or transformation of the Hierophant, that major influential institution, which suggests that there are certain powers that are fading away. Their power or its power is fading away. It is not having the influence it once had on the people that create humanity. It's not. It's time. We're on a break of a major change and a major shift. The next card is, hopefully y'all can see it, it's the High Priestess. And the High Priestess falls right up under the Star card. The High Priestess represents unfolding mysteries. Unfolding mysteries. I want to personify the High Priestess right now, but I can't think of an example. Every single time. Y'all wouldn't believe it. Y'all probably think I'll be lying. My phone don't ring or do nothing until I get on here. There was a whole lot of chiming. So, the High Priestess represents nuts, perversion. Anyhow, perversion. That's another thing. Maybe need to make a video about perversion. I be trying not to insult people, even though I have a very critical nature. But people are perverted, literally perverted, and I understand being in communion with. I'm digressing. I'm on some other stuff. I understand being in communion with certain spirits and how they urge a person on and gives them or provokes in them or promotes in them not tingles, what's the word? Urges. But it's more than an urge. It's like a bell go off. I know it. A bell goes off. Well, you can't. These are like people that have sexual. They're sexually deviant. There is a bell that goes off. It's something that can't be ignored. Hi George. A person has to really, it's like do battle with yourself, and it's not just yourself. It's the spirit that, I ain't want to say it dwells within, because it seems like, based on my experience, it's more of a visitor, an intruder. That if you have the space within you, it will come in for a visit. And that is something that's also running rapid in this world. And people are so overtaken by such spirits that they can't. Like I was telling y'all yesterday, when this is an Aquarius rant part, that I get to the point where I can't comprehend the spirits. Those type of spirits, when they visit or invade a person, they can't comprehend, they can't see. That's another type of being that we're dealing with, an infiltrated being that we're dealing with, and they really can't see. They really don't know. They are really possessed. I've dealt with all these kind of spirits, and I'm looking like, that's what I say, who am I? I really don't know who I am, y'all. You know, it's just too much. It's too, who I am is too obscure. It doesn't make any sense, at least in a practical, material sense. Who I am doesn't make any sense. It don't even go with what's happening or popping in this world. It's crazy to be me. I'm just irritated by it. I really am. I'm just trying to chill though. And I gotta go back. I'm about to read the chat, y'all. I was thinking, I don't know why it came back up, but last year around September, and I talked about it since then, I said I woke up and I did an Aquarius rant. I don't know if it might have been a drunken Aquarius rant. And I talked about that childhood imaginary friend of mine and how she popped back up. And I said, y'all, when she pop up, that means it's about to be some money or something. And I told you behind that, I was on and popping financially. Well, she's here. She's here. And I don't know. Hallelujah! Come on now. What is this here? Oh no. Got to be shit. She here. She here. Her essence is present. So, you know, if she do what she do as far as, you know, boost my financial world, I'm happy about it. But I get the feeling it's about something else. It's about something else. I know what the something else is about. This is a tarot update. I'm just digressing from the tarot reading and going back into an Aquarius rant, because that's what I do. I don't stay focused because I don't have to. Anywho, the childhood friend, you have to locate that Aquarius rant. Oh, hallelujah. I ain't got time. Okay. She is here because this is my imaginary childhood friend. That one that brings the booms of financial gain and different things like that for me. I explained in that live stream that she represents more than the financial boom. She represents, this is a time period that I also told y'all that I got to be introduced to the spirit of hunger, to the point of starvation, to the point of paranoia, and understanding how cannibalism is possible out of necessity. If you follow me, you know what probably know what I'm talking about. Anywho, so she has come this spirit, this childhood entity, is one member of a spirit family. She is many. Like you hear about, let's say, in the Bible, talk about legions. We are many. We are many in the Bible. Well, she is like that. She is a part of allegiance, for she is one of many. I'm reading my chat, y'all, before I finish talking about the childhood friend in which she is bringing your opportunity for enlightenment. I'm willing to be enlightened. So much mental illness. There you go. Yanni, you was already ahead of me. There's so much mental illness, can't work with neighbors, middle class, mental people mentally ill on all levels. On all levels. And then this is the whole thing. When you start getting people that's mentally ill that are economically more I use the word blessed here, more blessed, it's always your fault. It's always your fault because their money or their success or their fame or their influence make it okay. Everything they do is okay and it's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Everything okay and perfect because of, again, their physical worldly success. They be mentally ill than a mother sucker. Right? Okay. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah, opportunity from alignment. George says, I made it, Nancy. Did you look up your twin sister from another mother? You know what? I did not. I thought about it today, but I didn't do it. It was a commercial that came on, and I said, these was in one of the commercials, but they didn't mention the name. So I still got to look. The requirements, the standards for life starts with self. Silly to complain about the world when the self is the world, affecting the larger world positively or negatively. So true. It's about what you, like I said, it's a conscious decision. Sometimes you got to do battle with yourself to, get yourself in line. Oh, I can't say. For some reason, a lot of people want to bring up contribute a lot of negative energy and aspects into the world. So crazy. That's back to the childhood friend. Are you trying to say an impulse? An impulse, that's a good word too. Like you're saying somebody is being very impulsive. Yeah, you can say, yep. The entity that's also a movie based on a true story that happened in Long Beach, California, San Pedro from 1981 about an astrological creature that rapes this woman, starring Barbara Hershey. I don't want this to go away. It's that one word. I wonder if you. I ain't being funny, George. Just because you use that R word, that's why they blocked. Why won't report, put user and time on how to use. I don't want to do neither. I want to show it. Okay. Just one word that you use, and YouTube has gotten super sensitive, at least from my perspective. That one word. I made a video. I'm digressing, going somewhere else now for a moment. I made a video and it was called, and I think I mentioned it, it's called Bondage. When I say that video right there, they have limited, did they just do away with my ability to monetize it? I mean, they had a lot of complaints. I had a lot of complaints against that video entitled Bondage, which had nothing to do with sex at all, or any type of S&M. Nothing. The image that I used was two figures. They looked like they might be going into a kiss or something, but it was nothing. It was a little suggestive just because they were going into a kiss, full body suits on, and I mutated it so it's just like a blue figure and a red figure. But when I say I got a lot of chastisement from YouTube about that video. I mean, I got a significant amount of chastisement, and the reason why is because of that one word. It's a word, the term, and the term is bondage. Nothing else. Nothing else. Bondage. Another video I made was for, I think, Sweetest Day or Valentine's or something, and it was a tarot reading, and it was to my love, sex, and happiness, or something like that. Love, sex, and happiness. That was another one I got a little reproof on from YouTube. And they wanted to chop the video up. They asked me that I want them to chop it up so that they can extract an image. And the image was of this beast. I did for Capricorn's reading. For each of them I had a different, for every 3 or 4 zodiac signs I had a new image. And when it came to Capricorn, because Capricorn is synonymous with the goat, I had this beast figure that I had pulled off Google. And the beast it didn't have any genitalia or anything, but it was a beast, so it had no clothing on, but it was nothing there. But I guess that was more suggestive than YouTube could allow without chastisement and reproof. And so it messed up my ability to have viewership on that one. I'm looking like, what? And then in that same video, I have a man on a stage on his knees before a woman with a whip. Everybody's fully dressed. They might have their shirt off, fully dressed, and then have a woman in the front, very front of the image, and you can see her tattooed back, and she's right in the forefront. You can't see anything, and I guess it's very sexually suggestive, but you can't see nothing. You can't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it was all in light of whatever holiday it was, to be entertainment. My channel is not for children, and I've said that, and I keep being penalized. I forgot what I was fussing about once again. I'm supposed to be reading the tarot card, but George, I was fussing because the one word that you use in that paragraph is what made them hold it for me to review it. I think that's deep. Instead of 4 words, let's just say the astrological creature is sexually assaults her brutally. They read that too and want to hold that back, George. This is insane to me. It's a bit deep to me. Anywho, okay, what was I doing? What is this live stream about? It is a September 2020 tarot update. It is for all zodiac signs. Thus far, the tarot cards haven't suggested that I focus on a particular zodiac sign. So it's just a general tarot reading for all zodiac signs. Thus far, we have discovered that we are on a cusp of moving into a time period. There's going to be some major changes. These major changes includes us being each individual that creates humanity at this time, having to learn how to collaborate, how to network successfully, starting with, but not limited to, bringing families back together. You got to go through what you got to go through. If y'all want to beat each other up in the same house, it's okay. Or you can go ahead and heal some things and go ahead and keep it moving, because then you got to heal the community, and then your city, and then your state, and then nationally, and then globally, and then spiritually. That's where we are. Because you don't know. You're not seeing. You're not aware of the boundaries. It's saying the reason why you've fallen as humans, the reason why you fall into this fallen state, the reason why you're dealing with what you're dealing with, really, is because you are not aware that there are rules and regulations and boundaries and restrictions that you have to obey because you're in this realm, because you took on a physical body. For no other reason than that. You came into the physical realm, and there are rules. And because you people that create humanity at this time and historically did not follow those rules, you now have to go through these various stages. And where you end up being, as far as, you want to be egotistical and narcissistic, self-serving, self-seeking people, where you ended up was because you didn't know these rules existed. And it says that many of you Many what people that are in humanity and once were in humanity got to this place of unawareness because they were being what manipulated by or taught by a major influential institution in this world. Now that those major influential institutions that have existed in this world are fading away. Their power is fading away, and therefore their influence upon you is fading away. Then we have the high priestess that talks about the revealing some type of mystery. And the mystery is, the high priestess falls right up under the star card. The star card represents achieving, what can I categorize it as? It is achieving the ultimate righteous reality. Just to say we all get along. We all are cordial. It ain't got to be bubble gum, what they call it, bubble gum and candy drops or whatever it's called, but you have to be cordial. We all live on the same globe. You have to be cordial. Because if you get into a fight, nation against nation, you're going to destroy the globe that you two live on. So you have to be cordial. And so the high priestess is saying, I don't know. Not only do you not know, or nor have you known for a long time, that there are rules you must obey because you're in this realm. You also didn't apply. So you people, humanity, you don't know what the possibilities are as a direct result of you applying those rules, following those rules. I'm going to try to state that a different way. So, okay, humanity, you about to be taught the rules, however long it takes us to learn the rules to this realm. Once you know the rules, you're going to be expected to implement those rules. You're going to have to follow those rules. You're going to have to stay within the boundaries and the confines of this reality as defined by the Creator. Once you are there, you're going to see where it takes you. And based on what I have studied and heard and looked at, it takes us to a place, something similar to a utopia. I personally don't believe in heavenly perfection, but I think we can continue to strive towards heavenly perfection. Never to get there, but strive to be there. Meaning we always are in a very modest and reasonable state. I don't know if I made that make sense. And so that's what the high priestess represents upright. Like, okay, y'all done had all this time to figure it out. Y'all wasn't the crispiest cookies in the jar. So now I, high priestess, I'm coming in. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to walk you step by step. Because that's my job as the high priestess. To walk you step by step, giving you all the cheat sheets. Meaning I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to make you have to go home with your family you ain't talked to or y'all ain't talked to in generations. I'm going to make this happen over here. What you've done, I'm going to let come through. So you can see it. So we can get you where you got to be. You got to be, quote unquote, humanity. You have to be humanity. Why are we humanity? Because we all on the same globe. So she's getting us there. That's her job. Okay, I'm going on. The next card is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands represents our fire energy, or the fire element, and our fire signs, so we can get some details, are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Now this Knight of Wands is running over here to the high priestess, giving all the cheat sheets away and all the clues, going over there getting like arsenal. So let's talk about the fire element and the signs, so we can really understand what this Knight of Wands represents. Aries represents the individual avatar. It represents me and you. It represents us alive, those that are alive at a particular time, going to get this revelation. And it's crazy because this Knight of Wands falls right up under the Ace of Swords in reverse and say you don't know. You won't know. You ain't got no clarity, no understanding, no enlightenment. You don't know. So you're being Wands inspired to go seek the truth. So the High Priest is sitting there saying, come on, I'm going to give it to you. Because y'all ain't the brightest cookies, y'all ain't the crispiest cookies in the jar. So anyway, the Knight of Wands, the Aries energy, rise over because it's our physical avatar that's alive and animated and it's inspired to do so. Then we have Leo, and Leo represents the heart, being guided by your heart. So our hearts will be inspired to seek understanding and truth one way or another. However it has to be done. No bars hold. What else does Leo represent? Leo represents the king or queen essence in each of us. It represents your higher self. It represents living from your heart, you know. And so we're being uplifted. We're being inspired to move forward to gather this information to be our higher selves. Interesting. The last fire sign is Sagittarius. And Sagittarius represents the adventurer. Okay. You might not have been interested in going and having the necessary experiences to get you to live your best life, humanity. However, you are again inspired and motivated to go on this adventure, this life, have these various necessary relative life experiences, whatever they are, no bars hold, in order to get a clear understanding, in order for your awareness and consciousness to expand. All of that falling up again, up under the Ace of Swords card in reverse, saying you ain't got no clarity, no awareness. You ain't got a clue. People that create humanity. The next card is, and it's falling under the Tower card. What could it be? It is the Five of Wands in reverse, pointing back to the Four of Wands. I chuckle because if you know the tarot just a little, the Five of Wands talk about discord between parties or the people involved. In this case, we're talking about the people that create humanity at this time. All the discord. What does discord? And it falls under the Tower card. Those critical moments that say, hey, you doing something wrong. And what are physical, worldly examples of how we have done things wrong. We have been self-destructive and unproductive. Well, example with the Five of Wands. Look at the card. I can't make this stuff up. Five of Wands. Let's talk about wands. Right now, what am I doing? I'm still reading the tarot cards. But I'm going to show y'all so y'all don't think I'm playing faking the funk. You know, when I'm reading the tarot cards, I'm going to give you a definition of, as I always do. That's how I read the cards. I give you a definition and then interpret it. But due to how the cards feel, which is the Tower card, with the Five of Wands in reverse below it, I think this is an optimal time to really share how one interprets the cards. So, some of you are pretty familiar with the tarot. The Wands represents what? Fire, animation, inspiration. What inspires you? What motivates you? Remember, we just went over some of the fire signs. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. What could possibly inspire us on an individual level? Aries, it could be self. It could be selfish passions and desires that motivate us to go and interact with others in this world that lead to discord, arguments, confusion, conflict. Leo, What can inspire you or motivate you? Selfish aims, intense, narcissism, you know, wanting to be important. And Sagittarius, what can inspire you? We talked about it a little earlier in this tarot reading. What can inspire you could be the influence of a major influential institution. I use the example of like the Catholic Church, you know, the Vatican and stuff. That can influence you and inspire you to move forward. And to do what? Be at odds with others. The Five of Wands represents discord within the population and within humanity. It manifests in so many different ways. We have racism. We have what's it called? Economic diversity that leads to issues. We have, I mean, how many, name something. What issue keeps the people of the world at odds, keeps strife going on? You know, those kind of things. This Five of Wands is in reverse, pointing back to the Four of Wands. What does the Four of Wands represent? Well, we're talking about those very aims or passions that inspire or motivate us or compel us to move forward and perform some action. And how it ends up like affecting your emotional state, your sense of comfort and or security in this world. Let me give an example of what I'm talking about. There was a perspective that exists that's at a particular point in time, like in I want to say maybe the 1950s, that this is a hypothetical, I mean, this is just an example of where, how would I say, it was said that due to, I want to talk plainly, that African Americans suffered a lot of abuse from the hands of racist white America, all the way up and through like the civil rights movement. And then the time comes with all the civil rights and everything, and then finally African Americans reach a level of success and get a little respect. Now, as a direct result of those dynamics, it has been said, at least I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not, that there are white Americans that are emotionally unstable because African Americans received a form of liberation. I have heard, I don't know if it's true or not, that there are white Americans that are afraid that African Americans at some point in time may retaliate. That whole scenario that I just shared, hopefully it wasn't offensive, is what this Five of Wands in reverse represents. To the extent of how do you feel as a direct result of, these actions that you moved upon, that at some point in time caused discord within, society or within the world. It is those moments that have come, led to our tower moment, an opportunity to make the change. Let me try to go back a little bit, because what this is saying, hey, so it's talking about the future. It's talking about the influences that have been upon us and the things that we are being compelled to release so that we can embrace what we need to embrace. And what the cards are saying we need to embrace is we have to embrace, again, am I saying it right, the rules to this reality. Did you know there were rules? Did you know there were boundaries that we are confined to because we incarnated into this physical realm? Because you took on the body, there are boundaries. I've talked about these things. This is so crazy. Over the course of the history of my channel, I have followed what I was told to do. Even though I couldn't see it clearly, and I had people, talking to me and texting me, and not texting, chatting me and emailing me saying your channel don't make no sense. I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. All right. It makes sense now. Because it was a point in time in the course of the history of my channel, I was told to cover the various boundaries of this world. I think the very first video I did was called God's Covenant with Man. Because my channel actually began in 2012, whether y'all know it or not. I just didn't make a lot of videos back to back. So it was God's Covenant with Man. And then the next one that I did, trying to deal with the boundaries of this reality, is called This Place. This Place. And so I tried to follow the commands that I was given. It said this place, and I went over this place, and I talked about it from the womb to the tomb. This place. I've tried to talk about the spiritual realm relative to this place, the ethereal realm relative to this place, the spirits that dwell within relative to this place. All of the boundaries I've talked about in the just since all of this started. I did a video called New World Paradigm. It's called New World Paradigm. Moving into the New World Paradigm or something. From the New World Paradigm into the New World Order. Moving from the old paradigm into the New World Order. And I talked about in that video, during that live, about the world's various social constructs. Why am I saying that? Why am I reflecting upon that? Because it is all making sense to me now. It's all making sense to me now. That, again, they're said at this time to be nearly 8 billion people on the planet. From that estimated nearly 8 billion people on the planet at this time, what percentage of the world's population know that there are rules we must oblige here while in this physical realm to ensure our well-being? How many? When I look at all of the work I was instructed to do and what I've discovered and was led to be able to see clearer, I realized that I think that's when I realized that the world's population have been socially engineered not to be aware of these rules. And I know the powers that exist and have existed have made sure that it's politically incorrect to speak about certain subject matters such as sexuality, because you are politically incorrect, you are offensive, and then everybody in society turns against you and say that you are anti-Semitic or gay bashing or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's sensitive, but that's part of the social engineering to make sure that the world's population does not know the rules to this realm. that ensures that if they can't personally, the powers that be in physical form can't screw you over, you're going to screw yourself over because you're breaking every single rule and law that frames and governs this realm. You're going to lose. One way or another, you're going to lose. And so the cards are saying, whoever, wherever these messages come from, like I tell you, I won't fake the funk. Like, I know exactly where it comes from. I just listen. Why do I listen? Because I don't have shit else to do. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that I told y'all there's a time period that I ain't got nothing else to do in my life. And then it's a time period where I say, Nancy, job well done. Party like a rock star. And then it's like, sit down. So here I am. I'm doing it. Do I feel stupid most of the time. I'm going to be transparent. I be feeling stupid. I always have. However, it's so overwhelming for me personally that I oblige you. Anywho. So, the cards are saying we are at the brink of the experiences that we need to begin to unfold, to reveal to the world's population from here on out, whoever may be a part of humanity from here on out, about what the rules are. And so whoever the creator is of this realm is crazy. Because I look at, again, I told y'all sometimes it take me a real long time to, really meditate and ponder on something. Sometimes it take years. Sometimes it's a day, an hour. Sometimes an hour is a day, a month, a year. I can't tell you when the revelation gonna come. But I also told you about this God of this ring. So I'm tripping. I'm on my own personal trip out. I be tripping, y'all, for real. And so what am I saying? I'm saying, okay, this sounds all good. All of this sounds good. That something, I assume the creator is trying to help us out because we messing up. We've been socially manipulated or engineered to do so. So it's interceding or having something intercede on our behalf to give us a chance. Other works that I've done, that I told y'all when I was doing, I backed up out of it because it got a little weird, a little creepy. Not too long ago, I don't remember what it was. I think it was an Aquarius rant where I got on here and talked about my studies. I went back to the Bible. And I did some reading. Something took me there. I listened. And I did some studies. And it was talking about the God of this world. And how it had a group. Not group. What do you call it? A group. Not a group. What is it called? Gosh dang it. A council. Council. That it had hand selected. I'm trying to summarize it. It had hand selected this council. And each council member was given a duty. And the council, the creator of this realm selected, hand selected, and gave each one of the council members a duty to perform in relationship to humanity. Example of one of the duties that a council member was given was to make sure that humanity was like socially engineered to fail. Now this is the God of the world. See, this is what I'm saying. It sounds contradictory, but I can say this much: all these years, that which I say, hey, I'd be like, hey, it's contradictory. It ain't first time I'd have got on here and said something contradictory. It ends up the hidden aspect that connects to seemingly opposing forces ends up coming, but I can't force it to come. It ended up coming. And so anyway, we got this here saying that there's something, possibly the creator, again, that's making provisions to try to You don't save us. But that other work idea said, hey, this is what the that same possible, that creator, I know it was the creator here, who is giving this message. Like I said, sometimes this message is by man. Sometimes it's by creator. Sometimes, it might be a dark entity that's sending a message or whatever. Okay. But overall, this reality was created by a particular creator. Therefore, it governs everything. So, I'll leave it at like that. So, over here, when I did the Bible work, going back and referring to that, the creator did what I'm saying it did. And it gave each one of those council members a charge. And one was to make sure that the people were compounded. Another, it was to make sure that the people got all the information that they need. So when it come down to the get down, it can say like, the gods of this world say, they have, I heard this doing space alien movies, plausible deniability that I told you, that I showed you in the movies, that I told you in the books, that I put particular people down there to tell you the truth, even though I was confounding you over here. That's what was going on. I told you it got real creepy. It got real creepy. I was like, wow, this is the same Bible that I read 20 something odd years ago. I come back to it with more knowledge, more awareness, and other filters. And now it's seeing it totally different. It took time though. It took time. Because it took time. I had to learn to break the Bible down. I told you what happened 20 something years ago. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about how opportunity to be saved. Something is playing the savior role here, using a religious filter. Excuse me. Something is attempting to play the savior role. But then, on the other hand, I am clearly aware that we've been socially engineered to fail at the same time. That's where I'm kind of getting hung up at. Is the creator of this realm bipolar? I'm just asking. Ooh, just a thought. It's a binary. Binary reality. Is the God of this world bipolar? Just thinking. I'm gonna let it go. Okay. Finish reading the tarot cards a little bit. How long I've been on here? Because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, y'all. So I kind of want to ride the wave right now. Am I streaming? Let's see. India, read that instead of, okay, read that. Nancy, you should feel all the spirits of Hollywood in the air, especially now. Ooh, wait, I don't even think I could bear that. I don't think I could bear that based on what I've experienced already, to be around that many active spirits cohabitating in people's body. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. That could be overwhelming. I know people got to be nuts. They got to be nutty. If they don't have a spiritual life, they got to be nutty as hell. Nutty as hell. Got to be. So just want to read a few more cards on how long. I've been on here 2 hours. Oh yeah, because I just rambled for about an hour. An hour easy. So far there's no particular or specific zodiac sign the cards suggest for me to give a message to. It's just generals for all zodiac signs, but it does focus on each of our fire, the existence of fire within each of us, that which is it's our passions, it's our urges, our desires, our motives, things like that. It's focusing on that and talking about how our passions, our desires, our motives, and intentions are not righteous. They're unrighteous. We've been socially engineered one way or another, whether by a man or by some demonic spirit, to be unrighteous. And I know speaking religious terms really throw people off, but it makes sense now. I have to go back to religion and what it was saying, and I have to go back and use some of this terminology because, number one, it was a major part of my life for a long while, and now to be able to see what those words were really saying, like blows my mind. I knew it was something I wasn't perceiving when I was in the church, because I was letting, again, the pastor read it to me and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't until I went off on my own and got deep. So interesting. And again, that Bible says, hey, I'm going to tell you the truth, but it's going to be in parts. That's what's crazy. It says it's going to be in parts. But it's plausible for me, the God of this world, is plausible deniability. When you say, oh, I didn't know, be like, oh, yes, I did. I told you. I had people specifically in this place in order to make sure that you got what you needed to know. It was just given to you. And the part of it is we don't know what's in part. He joked with this console and the people over that calling or charge and said, make sure you give it to them in part. Make sure you give it to them in part. That was deep. Next card is the Two of Wands. Still dealing with the aims, the passions. That what inspires us and our motivations, and saying, what do you do? What do you choose to go after? What do you choose to go after? And it falls up under the death card in reverse and the Hierophant. And it talks about the change. It talks about the vanishing of the pool of those major influential institutions. Now there ain't nobody telling you where to go. Now that the church is not telling you where to go, or whomever, whatever major influential institution is not telling you where to go, how to think, and what to feel, where do you go? Where do you go? The next card is the Ten of Wands in reverse, pointing back to the Nine of Wands. I can't wait to find out what this is. I can't wait. Anyway, the Ten of Wands in reverse falls up under the Star card. The need to for humanity to work together. I'll just kind of summarize it like that. The need for humanity to work together. And then the High Priestess, who says, I'm going to reveal to you how humanity, all the members of humanity at any given time need to work together. And then it's followed by the Ten of Wands in reverse, pointing back to the Nine of Wands. And the Ten of Wands represents carrying the burdens associated, the burdens and responsibilities associated with your desires, what you believe. See? Oh wow, that's some deep stuff. Remember, a vast portion of the world at any given time has been manipulated by those major influential institutions and the powers that be to think certain ways and then act certain ways. It could be everything from racism, anything. It's just an example. And it says, because you allow these powers that are and have been to manipulate your thinking and therefore your behavior, you people are required to carry all of the responsibilities and duties associated with being or accepting those doctrines. You got to do it all. Wherever it is taking you, Tower moment, you got to go there. It's inevitable. You did it. You made it. You made your bed, not lie in it. And the High Priestess reveals that. And the Ten of Wands is mentioned is in reverse, pointing back to the Nine of Wands, which sends us back focusing on our beliefs and our philosophies. When we turn to look at our individual as well as collective beliefs and philosophies and worldviews, question is, where did you get them from? What are those views or philosophies inspiring you to pursue, to uphold, or to destroy? You know, because it was suggesting that the cards suggesting that we have again been manipulated into, or we've been exposed to doctrines, therefore beliefs and philosophies and things like that, worldviews, that we each don't want to carry the weight of the responsibilities and duties and consequences that those particular beliefs and philosophies and worldviews bring. We each don't want to carry the weight of the responsibilities and duties and everything and consequences associated with our behavior that we have conducted as a direct result of that influence, that outside influence. You know, we don't want to, but the High Priestess says you must. It is inevitable. So let me give you an example of what that could look like in the real physical world at this time. Going back, use an example of how we have become so individualistic that we don't need family, we don't cohabitate together, we fall out and don't talk for long periods of time, and it's been okay because we've been so self-sufficient. High Priestess says, okay, you've been improperly influenced, you know, by some major influential institution throughout the history of humanity, or some belief or philosophy. And so because you have been improperly influenced to believe you can continue to do that, live separately, not talk to each other, fall out, do it yourself, be self-sufficient, not have to depend on each other, you're going to walk the full gamut of that. You're going to get to the tail end of that, and you're going to see the end result of that with the Ten of Wands in reverse. The end result of that. What does the end result look like? An example could be, again, the results manifest in different ways. It could be where a person enrolls to the top of this world as far as career and different things like that, and making money, being socially, affluent. You know who I thought about? No, I mean, you ain't, unless you're a mind reader. I thought about Robin Williams when I was saying that. Is it Robin Williams, the comedian that ended up committing suicide? Him. I thought about him, you know. And ending up alone, nobody to talk to, you know, or is not being satisfied, or you feel like you sold, you know, your family out, or your ancestral line out, or, you know, something to you as an individual. You feel defeated, and you don't want to carry that. You don't want that. That's not what your end goal really was. But based on the philosophy that you were taught, you believe that you're going to be greater, that you're going to feel better, that you're going to do better, you're going to achieve more. You know what I'm saying? And when you got there, after you did it, you found out that wasn't even the answer. And so that's what the Ten of Wands in reverse, pointing back to the Nine of Wands, talks about, with the up underneath the High Priestess saying you're going to have to walk the whole gamut of this. You're going to see what you've been improperly influenced to pursue. You're going to see the end results of it. And it's from that end result, Tower moments and stuff, there's going to be like your bounce back. It's going to force us to have to bounce back in the opposite direction, which is to what? Go back and learn to the rules of the ram, see where we made our mistakes so we could correct ourselves. And we're going to do this work. It doesn't happen overnight. I guess it could happen overnight, but because of so many people, nearly 8 billion people, it most likely won't happen overnight. And there's how many countries, I don't know, in the world, and how many nations, how many continents. So it's a broad spectrum of people. It's a lot of division. So most likely it won't happen overnight. It could. But it's saying, hey, you're going to start working on this now. Here's 2020. You're going to start working on this now. I think we've been working on it for a little while. I forgot the date. You're going to start working on this now. Even though it may not be fully realized during your lifetime, you're going to work on it now for the future of humanity. We think too short term. Ooh, but the cards ain't going there, so I ain't going there. Think too short term and too physical. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more cards, y'all, and then I'm going to end this live stream. I thank you for dropping by here to Can Angels Fly Tarot and More, and allowing me to read the cards for everybody for September 2020. This is a general reading. It is for everybody. Thus far, again, the cards never focus on a particular zodiac sign and say, hey, give this zodiac sign a message. So it is for all of us, a message for all of us. Yana, you say, not that many people on the streets in Hollywood, but busy in the spirit realm. Ooh, you can feel the heaviness. Oh gosh. I don't want no part of it. No part of it. No part of it. Next card. Next is the 7 of Wands. A lot of fire. Again, the self. Passions, desires, urges, intents, things that motivate us, things that inspire us. 7 of Wands. The 7 corresponds with the 7th house of Libra, and the 7th house points us immediately to partnerships and partnership exchanges, partnership contracts or social contracts, and not only that, it's a social exchange with another or others. It's the terms and conditions that exist between each party involved. Those terms and conditions. Why are you working together? What are you expecting? What are you anticipating? What are people wanting from you? Those terms and conditions. And the 7 of Wands suggests that underneath the Ace of Swords in reverse, meaning you ain't got clarity, you ain't seeking truth, followed by the cards I feel before, the Knight of Wands. Now that you're inspired, you're going to be inspired. You're going to be compelled to go seek this truth, because it's going to be free to you now. Through the High Priest, it's going to be free. So you're going to go after that. And it says you're going to go into these partnerships, active partnerships, whomever you are involved with. Each of our stories are unique. That's what really complicates tarot reading. It's always a pleasure spending time with you, Nancy. Oh, George. Thank you. Thank you for coming back. What you up to? What time is it? Oh, it's 1 o'clock. What you doing? What you up to? You bored, George? Or you busy? Are you making money? What you doing? You sipping? Smoking? What you doing? I've been on my best behavior, y'all. All I had is some coffee. That's it. I've been messing with the devil. I've been eating cheese. I don't usually eat too much cheese, but I've been eating cheese. I gotta stop. The devil is a lie. Devil is a lie. Okay. Devil's a lie, baby, a lie. So we have the 7 of Wands. There's a lot of wands here. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 major arcanas out of 1, 2, 3. That's 9, 10, 11. 5 major arcanas thus far out of 11 cards. Powerful. Powerful. So it's going into spiritual stuff. What am I saying? I'm saying that this particular spread, based on the ratio of the cards, the major arcanas versus just the rest of the cards, suggests that yes, the reading is calling out our physical, worldly experiences and our behavior. But it's a spiritual aspect to it, because there's a lot of major arcanas. And we have I'm going to reveal it. It's the major influential worldly influences. And like, who's really the boss? Who's really the boss? Who's really the boss? And who gave you what? What am I doing, y'all? Reading the major arcanas just long. Who's the boss? Who gave you what? Yeah, it's the ignorance, and it's like in the ignorance of not knowing who the creator of this realm is and not appreciating it. And I got an issue with that right there, because I was improperly influenced by the church to worship the Christian God. So what you fooling on me for? Look, what you fooling on me for? I see that. I see that. And I made a video when that's the name of that video, when I was going back to the Bible and saw that the Creator had a console. It's called "Forgive Us, God," or "Forgive Us something, because we know not what we do." And when I was reading, I was like, wow, that goes to that Bible story of Christ on the cross, the consciousness, the awareness. When it looked over, Christ looked over at the thieves on the left and the right of him, and he looked at the soldiers that was torturing him. He said, "Forgive them, God, because they know not what they do." So yeah, it was like, forgive us, God. And I stopped with that. When I saw all that and I did that video, I said, nah, Nancy, you looking a little crazy here. You stretching. And it started borderlining on aliens and extraterrestrials. Hold on. Back up. But it said, hey, forgive us, God, for we know not what we do. We didn't know because we were manipulated into it. We were born into this manipulation. So we don't have any point of reference to know that we were doing things wrong. We didn't know. Like me, I'm gonna say, I didn't know. I did know, but I didn't know. It wasn't obvious that there were rules to this realm. Things we take for granted. Sometimes we take things so for granted that it doesn't seem important. And that's what has happened to humanity and why we are fallen. We have taken our existence for granted, or our existence in this physical realm for granted, and thinking we can do whatever we want to do in this realm. And it's only through my research that what I've already known, I can see more in order now. Again, I was led step by step to research and focus and ponder on specific subject matters and aspects at different times. I said focus just on this, then this, then this, then this. And over time now I see how my channel truly has been constructed. I keep telling y'all that every now and then on my channel. I look back and say, oh, okay. When people say my channel didn't make no sense, I say it makes sense. I'm fine. I know what I'm following. So, anywho, it would say, I want to bring up once again the powers that be. The best examples I have to introduce you to and point you to as far as powers is going back to Henry Ford and the painting and my visit to the museum. And those 262 plus people that attended the banquet at that Jubilee Light thing in honor of Thomas Edison. The reason why I point you there is because if you Google that picture, Jubilee Light, whatever, banquet thrown by Henry Ford at the Henry Ford Museum in 1929, right before the market crashed. You are looking at, you got to realize what you're looking at is each one of those guests covered an aspect of this reality. And that's just one example. Each of them, Tesla covers an aspect of this, covered an aspect of this reality. Edgar Casey covered an aspect of this reality. We can talk about Martin Luther King, Gandhi, all covered an aspect of this reality. And when I say they covered it, I'm talking about being masterful, going into it, becoming one with it, sitting with the spirits of it, in order to understand that one particular detail about this reality. Learning the rules, the regulations, the boundaries, becoming one with it. Where the rest of the people in the world at any given time did not have that opportunity. They didn't do it. They was busy trying to survive this reality. Back to the Henry Ford and 260 plus guests that was at that banquet. Each of them were dealing with at least one aspect of this life. They were working, networking. When I've talked about the different academic disciplines and how some disciplines intersect with other disciplines, but time a discipline is intersected with a relative discipline, at the end all disciplines are interlinked, intertwined, which is what? This reality, the fabric of life, the fabric of our reality, everything. And so why am I talking about that? Again, I know I wasn't raised, I'm going to speak about me, I wasn't raised to be aware that there are so many intricate details that create our reality. Can you think of any way that you may have offended this reality? That you went against the laws of this reality? Anyway, anyhow, can you think of it? And I need you to go to that's why at some point in time on the history of my channel, I was told to break this place. When I talk about this place, it had me go through talking about the bare, raw basics to this reality that define this reality. The bare, raw basics. Back to the elements when we did the elemental tables, different stuff like that. Talking about the bare basics, talking about who is 7 Bomar? I did that. Who is 7 Bomar? Ascension, comprehension. Who is 7 Bomar? Comprehension to ascension. And that, it had me go way back and use the hypothetical, I'll say, because I wasn't there, beginning of Adam and Eve. Oh, what do I get to eat? Can I have something to drink? Thank you. Can I have a fork? A hot sauce? If you don't get here, take this cup. Here go a cup right here. Put this up there. My head hurt. I guess because we ain't ate today. What time? Yeah, it's 1 o'clock. Yeah, who was that creeping across? I need something to drink. I need a fork. I like some hot sauce, something. We ain't ate today. My head hurt. Okay. Well, we ain't ate yesterday, so we'll eat today, early today, 1 o'clock. So anyway, oh, wear my glasses. It's hot now. I forgot what I'm saying. So it's all, I get so excited, y'all. I get passionate and preachy because it makes what I do make sense to me. Even though it might not make no sense to nobody else. It makes sense to me. This crazy ass experience. Ooh, I didn't make it. I have. It make a little sense to me. Give me a little piece. You say practicing my martial arts again. Oh, that's a good thing. I don't forget my business in Nigeria. Hopefully in 5 years I have the attributes of the mantis shrimp, working hard on it. Attributes of the mantis shrimp, working hard on it. And 5 years, that's not too long. All right. Don't forget about Bruce Lee. Oh, please don't forget about Bruce Lee. Who could forget about Bruce Lee? No one. He's been nagging me a lot lately to get off my, look, get up and get busy. Master that. Master that. A female spirit and Bruce Lee have been on my case for me to accept my greatness and not sabotage again. Wow, that. Do you see? You know what I'm talking about when there are spirits that come, you know, consult you and motivate you and inspire you and saying, "Hey, get up." Bruce Lee, you know what he represents. You already know martial arts. It says get up, and that takes a lot of commitment. It's saying, you know, so it almost seems like your commitment to anything will be reflected to you through your commitment through doing the martial arts. You know, a time period of strengthening, meditation, being able to focus and things like that. So that's, you know what exactly I'm talking about. And so you reminded me, George, of my childhood friend, imaginary friend, and how she came to visit me. I told you I woke up and she was over me, and that was back in, it's like September of last year. And I was like, oh, I knew I was about to get some love and some money. But I didn't go into detail about the negative association with her. And so she's here. And I hope she's bringing some money. I want some more money. It feel real good. Love, I'm not really interested in. I'm in that space now where I'm like, I can do without that. But just to have money to F off would be nice. But anyway, I think she's here for another reason. And remember, I was saying earlier in this video that she is one of many. She like, I am legions, for I am one of many. Well, she is legion. She is one of many. But she's over a particular consciousness, a particular urge. And I say that because, let me try to explain. I'm gonna give you an example of who she is. Ride this wave with me, if you will. This is my reality. Back in the day, I went to the casino. I was going with family, big group of family members. Everybody gambling, just getting out. And I hit. And it's called, we're getting bit by the gambling bug. This is an example. How can I explain it? Getting bit by the gambling bug. That's not quite her. I mean, it is a part of her. It is. It's the negative expression of her. Who am I talking about? Her. My imaginary childhood friend that comes to visit me throughout my life. And I had to get rid of that behind. So I'm going to keep on with the story, even though I might not 100% tell the truth, because I got to figure out. Thank you. You're so kind. Uh-oh. What is this?
Got cookies.
We got cookies. Magic cookie. And magic rice. I'm going to eat some rice now. And then I'm going to come back and talk about this imaginary friend of mine. What's important about this imaginary friend. Oh man, I'm gonna stop. Last card to the tarot reading. I just want to know what it is, and I'm gonna close these up. Page of Swords, young, without a lot of experience, in truth, in awareness, in clarity. That's where we're headed. We're at the precipice. We're just beginning to really come to gain understanding about what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to work together as the members that create humanity. Okay, so I'm gonna close them cards up. I don't want to spill anything on my card, y'all. So it took a long time for me to remember to buy them. So Manton Shrimp, you'll be amazing. Means you too. Manton Shrimp, you'll be amazed. Really. I'm sure I will. Anyway, let me mix this up. So, now, the tarot reading has ended. It was a general reading for all signs. The cards never told me to really focus on any particular zodiac sign, so I did not. Now, on to my story time. And what I'm sharing is, I think it's a spiritual message for everybody, with a primary focus in the United States. And I say that because I know that my imaginary childhood friend. So, a time period came when I went to the casino with a group of family members, and I hit, and I got bit by the gambler bug. The truth of the matter is, I don't think what.
I thought there was no hot sauce in here.
Ain't no hot sauce. I'm about to have a fight.
So take hot chicken.
Go ahead. That's all right.
It's tobacco.
That's Tabasco.
No, it's downstairs.
Oh man.
You want it? What are you looking at?
Tell that baby I said be quiet. So, we went to the casino. I hit. The truth of the matter is, I don't even think I hit, but I got bit by a bug. There were times that I hit a little bit. That's a whole different story to go into detail about. So, anyway, the point is that I had gotten bitten by the gambling bug. To be bitten by the gambling bug, I'm trying to explain something to you. I'm trying to explain who this entity is and what she is around me for and what she's telling me. So, to be bitten by a gambling bug, it leaves a person, or it manifests in reality as a person not having or lacking control to not gamble. So a person is forced, confronted, not forced, with doing battle with themselves to contain themselves, to execute control over oneself and one's urges. The imaginary friend is the urge. Start again. So, being bit by the gambling bug. Once bit by the gambling bug, a person wants to go back, just like a drug addict. Want to go partake in a vice. Over and over again. It's a bottomless pit. It can never be fed. It can never be fulfilled. It can only be pacified. Pacification suggests that you got to keep going back. Being bit by this gambling bug. So I kept going to the casino and I kept gambling. With times, it was that time that I won. A few times that I won. Felt invincible. It was entertaining. Took my mind off of what was going on that wasn't right in my life at a given time. It was like hope. I mean, in reality, I never played a game at the casino that would give me make me a millionaire. It probably barely make me a thousandaire. But it was this anticipation of increased financial stability. It was one more. It was this desire to be important, to find favor. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the effects of that being bit by the gambling bug. Ooh, Nancy, the gambling bug is a bottomless pit. You must know I told George, one of her family members. So, no matter what, I wanted to go back and gamble again because I wanted to partake in those things. I wanted to forget about anything that wasn't going right in my life. I wanted to feel special. I wanted the potential to have more financial abundance or whatever the case may be. I wanted all them things. Bottomless pit. Can't be fulfilled. It just can be pacified. Exhausting all of my resources. Getting in debt. Pawn and jewelry. And then did it all. Kind of goes on. Where am I going? Talking about the imaginary childhood friend that's been with me my whole life. It is that spirit that promises when she comes to bring abundance, whether it's money or love, but she comes with so much more. So going to the casino, chasing, bit by the gambling bug, hey, turned up, bossing up. Getting to this place where reality sets in, I guess I can say, where the money runs out, where other parts of life need to be tended to. So now it's between tending to the practical part of life or going to hang out with the spirit. Well, most times the spirit wins until you fall into a hole. I've met people like the people that own stores, businesses, all kind of stuff. That mug ain't no joke. That spirit of gambling, I'll say, is allegiance. It is allegiance because it's one of many. I'm talking about the part of that allegiance, that one that has come to be with me over the course of my life. I'm 50 years old. So the time period come where you hit rock bottom and you still being like a siren. Like the casino example is a siren. It's like a dope or drug to a person is a siren. Call you. Practical life sitting over there needing to be tended to. And now you get to the point where you gotta tend to practical life. Where you just ain't got nothing. Can't do it. What do you do then? When the spiritual urge is welling in you and you still ain't strengthened your will, you ain't had no self-control, you just kept giving over. Now you can't do nothing about it. You can't pacify You can't pacify it. You already know by then you can't satisfy it, but you can't pacify it either. The spirit might be to the point where you can't even tend to the practical. So, what do you do then? I'm trying to introduce you to the spirits. So, well, you go out and things that have happened at my local casino. People have jumped over the parking lot. People have went into the establishment, played a few games with their lads, hoping to get on, didn't get on, and turned and murked the person next to them and the dealer. People have left their following winners and jacked them. People have went home and took everything they got from their house and sold it. People have, I'm just giving an example of this spirit that is my imaginary childhood friend that has walked and visited with me over the 50 years of my life. I told you that it was a time period in my life where I knew I had to get rid of her because she was bad news, and I never went into detail. Now I'm going into detail. I'm telling you that she, the spirit that has been with me since childhood, is one of many. She is legions because she is one of many. So why is she here around me now? Because she's letting me know that legions, that we are many. I go, we are many. I am legions, for we are many, is loose now. Loose now. Loose now. Loose now. And when I say loose now, I'm talking about there are so many people being visited by these particular type of spirits. We are many. We are legions, for we are many. And the gambling is an example of the urge that these spirits are over. I told you the end result. I'm going to try. Last year when I woke up and I told you I seen her over me, I was like, I knew it was what? An abundance of money and love coming. And financially showing enough, the love trying to come. I'm like I am now, blocked it. Just give me the money. But I also knew that, remember I told you y'all the story earlier, and I've talked about it many times before. I talked about it in a video called Your Ass is Grass Due to the World's Greatest Pyramid Scheme, where I talked about the period in which I was introduced to the spirit of hunger or starvation, to the point you would commit cannibalism. And I know a lot of people's like, how you, Nancy, as an obese person, how do you know, how have you come to know that spirit? That don't even make sense, at least in the physical. Well, it is her, that spirit that I'm talking about, that is legions, for she is one of many, introduced me to that spirit. Because she kept me with so much money, I never sat still. I forgot, because remember, it's about consciousness. Never thought to eat for an extended amount of time until that spirit walked in me. She introduced me to that spirit. I hope y'all can ride the wave with me and understand what I'm saying. So she, who is one of many, is present, as well as the rest of the legion is present in the United States. I don't know about the rest of the world. I know in the United States. For we are legions, for we are many. I ain't through. So, when, during that period, I had so much money, I told y'all I couldn't sit still. I couldn't stop myself from going, from doing, from spending, from being a consumer, from being a indulger. Indulge. Never can be fulfilled, only pacified. Only pacified. That bitch. It was to make you where you can't sleep. You can't rest. You will self-destruct. You will kill, steal, and destroy, like the Bible say. And you will self-destruct. This is the same spirit that lead people to not have the self-control, not to overeat or eat richly. Because you a boss. You like a king or a queen and you can eat richly. All the cheeses and the lasagnas and the pastas and the steaks. You can't be full. You're never full. You can only be pacified. And you'll keep going back and keep doing. It's a bunch of, I don't know, physical manifestations that accompany that. That's a whole nother video. I don't go in all that. She is here. She is legions. Because she is many. They are many. And she's here. So what am I saying that for? Number one, I feel like it has wanted me to say it. I didn't know I was going to put it in the terms. I had to run her away from me. I told y'all that in that video back there. When I saw her, she kept me, kept me going. Kept me running. Kept me anxious. Wouldn't let me sleep. I was making bad decisions. You know, because I'm constantly going. I was better than, you know, everybody else. I was better. I was worth more. I was narcissistic. It was what I wanted. It was my way or the highway. It was like that ego, the Leo energy, amplified on 10. Very self-serving. Very ultimately self-destructive. I'm going to give you an example. I don't know, because I didn't know the person and I wasn't there. But I heard by a sports fan that Wilt Chamberlain was like a physical manifestation of this energy. Black man, come up from the inner city, make it big in sports and basketball, travel the world, slept with, I think it was Wilt Chamberlain, slept with all the women. The sports person enthusiast said over 25,000 women. And end up having a bunch of diseases and everything, but couldn't stop himself from overindulging, living a good life, talk poorly about black women from which he came. You know what I'm saying? That is one of those relative spirits. They are legions, for they are many, meaning they occupy many people at the same time. Most spirits have that, but this one, I say we are legions, for we are many. I mean, it is so abundant. These spirits run rapid like water, and they are here, especially in the United States. So what is that saying? What does that mean? That means, hey, number one, if you are a person that is, I am under attack again. Oh no, don't try to run now. So, if you are a person that can identify with that, you know, those details I gave you about the legions, the legion of spirits associated with that urge, what it gives, and what it's taking your energy, but it's taking it in a way that I've stated. Then you can run them off. Have to run it off, because who don't want money? But it's a trap. It's the whole thing is it's a trap. It is a trap. Okay. It's a trap. And it has of course destructive force in the physical. Like example, a person spend all their money gambling, so they can't handle the practical stuff. You lose your home, you lose your business, whatever. It has a physical implication. Somebody murk somebody else and murk they self, end of all lives, or they just murk another, end up locked up, exhaust their savings. It depends on what you're urged to do, to perform, what's put before you as a siren and enticing you. You can lose your physical body, with too much indulgence. They like the spirits of indulgence or something like that. Spirit of indulgence. I forgot what I was gonna say. If you got that going on, you can get rid of them. You better get rid of them. I was like, you ain't gotta do nothing, but it'd be beneficial for you to get rid of them, because there is a negative side. That's the point I'm trying to make to them. And it's also a negative side. Remember, I said it's to the point, if you don't practice self-control, have will, use your will and practice self-control with exercises. Listen to what I'm talking about. Exercising, like the exercises that particular spirit out and away from you. A person. If a person stays with these spirits, then, and mind you, it's a lot of them. There's a lot of them out here. Put it like this: the legions is out here. Like it's some, but no, it's the legions that are out. The whole group, we could say, are possessing and fighting, being not invading people. And so look at that. Understand where we are as humanity. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Understand where we are as humanity, especially in the United States, who we've been socially engineered to be. We have been socially engineered to not practice will, to have no limits, no boundaries. We know none of the rules or anything or the restrictions associated with this realm and this reality and living in this world. So if you don't have those boundaries set up, and that legions is loose and invading, you will be overtaken. Masses will be overtaken. Not like just one person here, one person there. No, we're talking about a lot of people at once. And nobody, or not many, have developed spiritually, nor have sound mind to exercise this spirit away from them. Therefore, though that mass of people that are possessed are going to experience the extremity of what those spirits bring. Remember, at the casino, people was jumping over the parking lot. They was following people home, jacking them. They was going and putting their last money down, trying to get back on, and couldn't, turned and murked everybody at the table, some including themselves. That was the extremity to it. The extremity of some of the things I experienced had me where I didn't even freaking eat, with a pocket full of money, but I couldn't stop, I couldn't sleep, kept going, didn't have no consciousness that I was not performing as usual. You know what I'm saying? So there are extreme experiences that are associated with the presence of these particular spirits. Keeping in mind with the reading I just gave, and says, okay, we're going to be compelled to come to understand what we need to do collectively in order to correct our erred ways. We got to understand the rules, regulations, and policies, and everything, boundaries and restrictions in this realm. The presence of those spirits, that legions of spirits that are invading masses at this time, like they've been released. How am I saying? They've been released to help us see the corrections we must make, and that's more like in the spiritual. I don't know if I made that sound right, because I had to deal with so many different layers. I had to deal with so many different layers, y'all. Anywho, once again, thank you for coming here to Can Angels Fly Tarot and more. I'm about to eat because I don't like cold food. And it's cold. And these cats gonna make me beat them. And I don't want to be on here and PETA come get me for animal abuse. Cat abuse specifically. You say, George, I'm curious what you're eating and smacking on your lips, Nancy. Make me hungry. My kids, they're adult kids, cook some rice, some green beans, and some fried chicken. And the chicken get cold. I can't stand it if it's cold. Since you have spirits coming around you and you have animals, especially cats, they are very sensitive to that. And they will act up. I should know. I used to have 8 of them. Did you? Well, I wish you could come adopt these right here. Please. I don't know. My cats, especially when they just got hit by the car a couple of weeks ago, I think it's Vietnam. At any given time you can find my cats, they will be staring, look like they're staring at someone at the wall. Just be like, come up the stairs on the land. They're like they staring something down. I wish you would move up in here. I wish you would. Now I would stop, especially when they got hit. And I would stop and say, girl, do your job. And I would just keep going, girl, do your job. Because she'd be looking like, if she was a human being, she'd be like, she had them on the stairs and she'd just be standing there for the longest. I wish you would. I wish you would move. Don't you think I wish. That's how she looked. And when I would come up the stairs, moments like that, or wherever she would be, she'll look over at me like, I got this, don't worry about it. I'll go miss that cat right there. And I had a dog. The dog that in her final day, that had her final days, she was like that too. This one, this is a wild cat. This is a wild feral cat. And she lifting her ear up. Oh, she's crazy. So, I'm going to let y'all go, but thank you again for coming here and allowing me to read the tarot cards for you and sharing with you about the spirits. Hopefully, the message will help you achieve what you need to achieve. Until next time, y'all, bye. Got to figure out how to get off here once again because they done changed everything on me.